I want to call this meeting of the Higher Education Committee to order. Today is March 23rd. We are in room 211. It is 12:04 p.m. We are here for decision making on House Bill 2024, House Draft 1. This meeting is being live streamed on YouTube and will cover this decision-making meeting that the committee took up yesterday, and in a likely event that we have to abruptly end the decision-making due to technical difficulties, the committee will convene today at 2 p.m. in this room, and a public notice will be posted on the legislature's website. So with that, members, thank you all for being here, and thank you for sitting through the public hearing yesterday. Before I do make my recommendations, let me make some remarks and give context to the forthcoming recommendations. First, let me thank the House of Representatives for the initiative in convening a working group to develop recommendations for a governance and management structure for Mauna Kea. I do want to express the Senate's appreciation for the efforts of the working group. As you can imagine, I've spent many days and nights since this measure was referred to the Higher Ed Committee in reviewing the report from the working group, the testimonies from the House hearings, the Board of Regents Resolution 19-03, the Center for Mauna Kea Stewardship Restructuring Plan, the independent evaluation and the implementation of the Mauna Kea Comprehensive Management Plan, governance models, the House Bill 2024 HD1, and other pertinent documents, in addition to listening and reviewing over 180 testimonies that was sent in to the Senate yesterday, not to mention the phone calls and emails to my office. I have also met with stakeholders. And this is an issue of statewide concern, members. It is not just a Hawaiian Island issue or a Hawaiian culture issue. It is a statewide, if not a worldwide issue that we must address. The purpose of the Senate's public hearing on House Bill 2024, House Draft 1, was to in part determine whether UH was and is a responsible manager of Mauna Kea. And what we found was the management of Mauna Kea have become very divisive, in part due to the university's snail pace in addressing the management deficiencies and lack of community engagement. And when the protesting began, the Board of Regents were paralyzed instead of developing a sense of urgency to carry out their responsibilities. As stated in the independent evaluation report, I quote, "Consistent in all the audits was UH's failure to adopt administrative rules governing public and commercial activities to ensure effective management and enforcement for the protection and preservation of the natural and cultural resources." It was not until 2019 that the Board of Regents finally found the courage to adopt Resolution 19-03 that provided the president of the university with a roadmap with deadlines. If not for this, it is my opinion that the snail pace would have continued. If this was a corporation in the private sector, those in charge, the Regents and UH president, would have been held accountable and probably terminated. The most serious concern raised, whether you were in support or opposed to this measure, is the lack of confidence in UH's leadership to continue the progress of managing Mauna Kea, to initiate updates, to evaluate and audit the plans in a timely and consistent manner. The regent most knowledgeable who demonstrated leadership in initiating this roadmap and the adoption of the administration rules is terming out as a regent. Additionally, UH's primary purpose is education and not as land managers. As the higher education chair, I know all too well the myriad of issues that paralyze UH. And while they may have been quick to act in a couple of recent projects, these are misplaced priorities when considering everything that is on their plate. So how do we move forward? I am practical and I do want a governing authority to succeed. Mauna Kea deserves and needs an oversight authority that is 100% dedicated to its mission. But after reviewing everything, I am not convinced that the current bill as drafted in creating an authority from scratch to manage this many-faceted entity will be able to achieve all that is envisioned without financially overburdening the taxpayers, as well as addressing the needs of the University of Hawaii's astronomy program. But I'm convinced that we need to move forward systematic change and do so in a manner that does not further divide our state. The Senate Draft 1 is definitely a work in progress, as there is no perfect bill. I am recommending a gradual transition, transformation, and change in a sustainable way that will need constant reviews. Therefore, I am proposing the following amendments to the bill to bridge the gap between the community and to address the race-based and name change concerns of the Attorney General and community concerns. Senate Draft 1 establishes the Mauna Kea Stewardship and Oversight Authority as the principal authority for the management of state-managed lands above the 9,200 feet elevation line on Mauna Kea, in conjunction with the Department of Land and Natural Resources. This authority will replace the role of the University of Hawaii Board of Regents and University President. The authority shall be placed within the University of Hawaii at Hilo for administrative purposes. It requires the authority to manage land use, human activities, uses, and overall operation. It authorizes the authority to develop a framework to allow astronomy development on Mauna Kea. It requires the timely decommissioning of the two telescopes, the Caltech and University of Hawaii Hilo Teaching Telescope. Authorizes the establishments of advisory groups. Allows the authority to limit certain commercial uses and activities on Mauna Kea. Requires the authority to allow the University of Hawaii a certain amount of viewing time at telescopes. Requires the university to continue to equitably fund the authority. Provides certain restrictions on leases. Requires an application fee for all recreational users of Mauna Kea. Establishes the Mauna Kea Management Special Fund. The authority shall consist of 11 voting members. The following members shall be appointed by the governor, all subject to section 26-34 to be confirmed by the Senate Joint Waterland and Higher Education Committees. These members include 1, the chairperson of the Board of Natural Resources or chairperson's designee, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs or designee, the chair of the University of Hawaii Board of Regents or Board of Regent member designee, a representative selected by the Mauna Kea observatories, an individual with Aina resource management expertise and a track record of Hawaii island-based management, an individual with education expertise in P-12 public education or post-secondary education, an individual with business and finance experience with previous administration experience in managing a large private sector business, a lineal descendant of a practitioner of Hawaiian traditional and customary practices associated with Mauna Kea, a recognized practitioner of Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practices. 10th, an individual selected from a list of 3 names from the Senate President, and 11, an individual selected from a list of 3 names from the Speaker of the House, provided that 3 of the 11 members on the authority shall be residents of the County of Hawaii. The Chancellor of Hilo shall be an ex-officio non-voting member. Authority members shall serve for 3 terms, a term of 3 years, and shall not serve more than 4 full or partial terms, which would give approximately 12 years, total of 12 years. We'll be deleting the nominating committee. The authority shall have the transition period of 3 years beginning July 1, 2023, provided that all of the initial members have been confirmed by the Senate and that the authority has elected a chairperson and hire a board secretary. The authority's day-to-day operation shall be led initially by the existing director of the Center of Mauna Kea Management for a minimum of 3 years beginning from July 1, 2023. The authority shall complete the land use authorization process and address all sublease applications. They shall be financially sustaining beginning the first year after the 3-year transitional period, requires an audit of the authority after the 7th year, reverts management to the University of Hawaii Board of Regents and President if the audit finds the authority unfit to continue. It appropriates $12 million. Effective date we have here, further effective date is January 1, 2055. This is a summary of the amendments. The draft will make style changes, substantive changes to achieve the stated amendments, technical and other non-substantive amendments. If this measure passes, it will move on to the Ways and Means Committee for further deliberation. And if it goes on from there, we'll go to conference. So there will be more opportunities for discussion and refinement should there be need for that. With that, members, I know I read through things, but we are open for discussion and any questions, any suggestions.
I just have a comment, Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
Thank you for your diligence and hard work on this issue. It's an issue that has been at the forefront of many of our minds, and you know, those who support astronomy and those who are you know, cognizant of Native Hawaiian rights. And this was not an easy task, so I really commend you for taking it on. One of the concerns I do have with one of the recommended appointees is the chancellor of the Hilo campus, who has not been at her position for many months and is working remotely from the mainland. And I'm not sure, you know, how she does that, but my concern is that she be there at the meeting so she fully is aware of what is going on and doesn't hold up any decision makings because of her absence. Thank you, Madam Chair.
We could put something in the committee report, and certainly if it moves on to Ways and Means, we could make further amendments to that. I just want to say that I try to strike a balance and also a gradual transition, because I know it as having to see everything that goes on in the Mauna, that there is a lot of moving parts, and to put in a completely new entity and expect them to get running in 3 years is a huge task. So I think it's important that they have a foundation that is currently there and then work from there to either make changes down the road. So that's what triggered or what motivated me to do that. Senator Favela.
Even for me, you know, it was a difficult bill. I'm not only satisfied in what we accomplished, especially all the hard work you guys did, but it's emotional for me being up there and seeing the things that I seen and heard, and having the way of how you orchestrated this whole thing and took the time to do it. Not everybody's going to be happy, but we cannot make everybody happy. We have to have something that we can live with. And for me personally, I just wanted to thank you for my family. That is something that I can live with and my family can live with. So I appreciate all your hard work and the committee and everyone that is here, because it's something that we can say at least we're having something progress moving forward in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Any other discussion, questions, requests for amendments? We are open to. Okay, if not, ready for the question on House Bill 2024. The chair recommends amendments that was articulated. Chair votes aye.
Thank you. House Bill 2024 HD1. Recommendation of the chair is to pass with amendments. Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Kitagaran.
Yes.
Senator Wakai.
Reservations.
Reservations. Senator Favela.
Yes.
Measures adopted, Madam Chair.
Thank you. There is no further business. We are adjourned.